Hey YouTube, Lucas Stringer here. I told you guys I was going to do a Blu-ray update video. So I told you, now I'm going to do the Blu-ray update. Now, if you guys thought I had a lot of Blu-rays when I had the last update, yeah. I think this one takes the cake. So, yeah. There's one more on the bottom that I'm not going to give away because it's the coolest one of all. Well, first one I got, which I've already shown you, is The Hunger Games. Now, this movie is just actually very, very good. People say, oh, it's not good because all the girls like it. Guys will like it, and girls will like it. It's got a great plot, it's got great intensity, and it's got a great cast. Now, people say this movie's overrated. I don't think it's overrated. I think it's a great movie, and you should definitely watch this movie. Now, the second movie I've got is The Curious Case of Benjamin Button in a Criterion. Now, I know some of you might say, it's not Criterion, it's in the Blu-ray case. Well, you little fuckers. Look here. See, it has the Criterion logo right there if you can barely see it. But you can see it on the side. And disproves it too. So yeah, I kind of proved it. So yeah, it is a Criterion. And it's still a phenomenal film. Now, this is probably one of David Fincher's worst movies. Number one is obviously Panic Room, even though Panic Room was a great movie. But David Fincher usually makes hardcore 5 out of 5 movies. This probably was a good 4 out of 5. Even though it's a good rating, it's still one of David Fincher's worst films. Doesn't mean it's not good. It's a great movie. It's a really, really good movie. You should definitely watch it. And plus, David Fincher. Come on, he's a great director. Now, next I've got is Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Now, Close Encounters of the Third Kind is a phenomenal movie from the phenomenal director Steven Spielberg. Now, for some reason, I was just thinking this to myself earlier because me and my friend, me and my friend were watching War of the Worlds, and I was just thinking, I'm like, Steven Spielberg's been doing a lot of alien stuff. He's the executive producer of Falling Skies, and he did this movie, and he did War of the Worlds, and he did E.T., and also that in Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, it involved aliens. So Spielberg, why do you like making alien stuff so much? Maybe he did explain it, and I don't know yet. So I bet I'm gonna get some comments. People who might know, I have a feeling, but still, this movie's phenomenal nonetheless. Let's go down here. Now, next I've got is 28 Days Later from the director of 127 Hours and Slumdog Millionaire, Danny Boyle. Now, people forget that Danny Boyle actually directed this movie. Yes, Danny Boyle did direct this movie. He did a great job as director, and this movie is great. It's probably one of the scariest movies I've seen in a while. It was a really good film. I think the reason why I liked it, because it actually seemed possible. And it had a great cast, which people that really we didn't even know besides Cillian Murphy, which we know him now. But they just didn't really look like big. I actually heard this from Eli Roth on a program on Bravo called 100 Scariest Movie Moments. He said they didn't use like Hollywood glamorous people that actually look like real people. I thought that was really cool. I thought that was a really cool quote. I think it's true. They just don't look like huge Hollywood glamour stars like nowadays, like Johnny Depp and all those people. But they just say look like real people, and also they did a great job as acting. And it's definitely a great movie. You should definitely either rent this movie or buy it. My suggestion: buy it. But if you might not like it, so rent it, or get it on Netflix. Now, next I've got is Braveheart. Now, Braveheart's just so good. So good. Mel Gibson is so good in this movie, and it's just it'll get a tear in your eye while watching this. I know people are going to leave comments because it did the exact same thing when I did my top 10 saddest movies of all time video. That's probably the video I've had that's gotten the most criticism, even though it's the most views I've had in the video. It's just weird. But this movie is just absolutely amazing. You should definitely watch this. And come on, it won 5 Oscars, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So yeah, guarantee for me. Let's see, and if you want to see what the inside looks like, got disc 1 and disc 2 in here. And also, it is directed by Mel Gibson. Yeah. One proof in the back. Well, you probably can't read it, but yeah, you probably can't read it. Next I've got is The Graduate. Now, The Graduate is just a fantastic movie. Now, this is probably one of my favorite movies of all time. I have not seen it. Like when I bought it, I did not see the movie. Then I recently watched it, and it's phenomenal. You should definitely watch the movie. It's so good. I got the Blu-ray and DVD combo pack, and it's just a great movie to watch. It's a great movie to own. You should definitely own this movie, Blu-ray or DVD. For me, I've just been getting into Blu-rays lately, so that's why I've been getting Blu-rays more than I have DVDs. Pretty much, basically all Blu-rays. Now I got Heat. Heat is just so fucking good. It's one of the best action films ever. And it's got such a good cast. Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, and Val Kilmer. No, what more can you ask for? They all did so good, and it's got such good scenes, got such good action. Even though it's like almost 3 hours, it's still a great movie. Now, next I've got Show Me the Money, Jerry Maguire. Jerry Maguire. Did I say Jeremy Maguire or did I say Jerry Maguire? Hopefully I said Jerry Maguire. Now, Jerry Maguire is just such a good movie. I don't know why I can't say it right now. But Tom Cruise did absolutely great in this movie, but Cuba Gooding Jr. also did better. And Jonathan Lipnicki is just funny to see him in that movie. And that, it was like the little cute little kid. Now his girls are probably gonna think I'm hot now since I heard he's got like an 8-pack now. What happens? But Cuba Gooding Jr. also did really good in this movie, and it's such a great movie to watch. And you should definitely watch this movie. If you haven't, I'll just show the inside because it has a little thing that you show on the inside. You want to look right here. And it has memorable lines, of course, from like "You Had Me at Hello," that kind of stuff. And of course, Show Me the Money. And a funny thing is, BTW, since I'm a huge Drake Bell fan, he was actually in that movie. Yeah, Drake Bell was in Jerry Maguire. Next, I've got Unforgiven. Now, this is just so good. I don't know why people hate Westerns so much. A lot of people I know don't like Westerns. They can change their opinion when they watch this movie. Mainly Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, because that's the best Western movie ever made, in my opinion. But still, this movie's also very good. It's directed by Clint Eastwood, starring Clint Eastwood, and it's just so good. And it won 4 Oscars. It did win Best Picture. I was thinking, did it win Best Picture? Yes, it did. It says right there in the front, and it deserved it. It was a great film. Had a great other cast along with Gene Hackman, Morgan Freeman, and of course Richard Harris. Not of course Richard Harris. Mainly be of course Morgan Freeman and Clint Eastwood. And Gene Hackman too. I love Gene Hackman. Now next, I have got The Truman Show. Now, I had no idea that they made a Blu-ray of this movie. I was at Walmart with a friend, and I just saw The Truman Show on Blu-ray, $7.88. Now, this is definitely my favorite Jim Carrey movie, and probably will always be my favorite Jim Carrey movie, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's just such a great movie. It's a very good dramedy. Jim Carrey does a great job, along with Ed Harris. It's just so good. Like, I showed it to whoever I've showed it to, they've loved it. And you want to know why? Because the movie's freaking awesome. And here's the inside if you want to see it. And now, let's move on. Next, I've got one of my favorite movies of all time, The Prestige. Now, I do own this movie on DVD, but it was for $7.99 at Target, so I thought, why not buy it? It's a great movie. Christopher Nolan did a great job as director, like he always does. And it's also got a great cast with Hugh Jackman, Christian Bale, Michael Caine, and Scarlett Johansson. It's just such a good movie. And plus, the inside looks very cool, too. If you want to see what's below the disc, I'll take the disc out. And you can see the rest of the stuff from there has a little scene selection right there. It's so cool. Now the next movie I have, I'll tell you a funny story about it. And because when I was up north on vacation, we were going movie shopping, and that's how I got the movies. And we were at Target because we couldn't find the Raid Redemption anywhere. And then we saw a shelf, Raid Redemption on Blu-ray wasn't there. My brother saw the last one, he fucking took it. And I asked people if they had it in the back. They did not have it in the back. And so I had to wait till we came back home the next day. And so then I told my dad, hey, let's go to Target. So we went to Target, and I was looking for it. And there was this guy and his kid. And he said, hey, Dad, look, there's the Raid Redemption. And he went, oh. I'm like, oh, crap, he probably really wants that movie. So I immediately charged right there on the shelf, grabbed it, and grand. I'm like, dodged a bullet. I'm not gonna get robbed by that movie again. Because The Raid Redemption is just such a great movie. It's one of the best action films I've seen in a while. It's got such good action. It's such a good time in the movie theaters or or at home on your TV. Watch it with a bunch of friends. It's such a good action movie. It's got one of the best action I've seen in a movie. No joke. That good of action. And just the inside of it looks so cool, too. And if you want to take the little top off, come on. That disc just looks so fucking badass. And here's more of it scene, which it's not really much, but it's that the disc is covering. But even the cover, you know, this looks bad fucking ass. And now to my final two, which I saved for you guys. Now you might have guessed it if you might have seen it, like the huge thing, and when I was showing all the Blu-rays. I got the box set of the Bourne Trilogy. Now, I love all three of them, and you guys know that. And if you're wondering when I'm going to review Bourne Legacy, I probably won't in a little bit. I might review the newer movies first, like, you know, The Expendables 2. And let me just take all these movies out. So right here, I have the Bourne Identity, which, if you want to see the inside, I don't think there's anything that you can see here. Nope. Which is definitely the worst Bourne movie, and the only one that's not directed by Paul Greengrass. And here's the Bourne Supremacy. Bourne Identity is the worst, but it's still a fantastic movie. And of course, my favorite movie out of the Bourne movies, which is The Bourne Ultimatum. You can look inside there. And now, this is a well-worthy box set. You should definitely get it. It's at Best Buy for, I think, $40, which is actually cheaper than buying all of them there. Which, yeah, you should definitely check this out. All of them. They're all phenomenal. You should definitely get this. And the best for last that I saved for you guys. This is taking too long. Jaws. I was so pumped to get this Blu-ray. It's just, looks so fucking cool. Like, you look in the inside of it, and at first you see the Blu-ray. This one I'm gonna be talking about most because I'm like really love this one. And it shows, and it has a little book on it, and it shows at first it's like has like a little introduction kind of thing. It has a little story that was a little thing that's by Peter Benchley, the author of the book, which I did read the book. The book's fantastic too. And then this pit in here, it shows the cast and crew, like Steven Spielberg's. How young does he look? Like, look how younger he looks. And now, and you got Roy Scheider, rest in peace, Roy Scheider. Richard Dreyfuss, which he was my favorite character in that movie. And rest in peace, Robert Shaw. And also, I think it shows that a few other cast members does it, and no, it doesn't. I thought they might have showed Murray Hamilton or Lorraine Gary. But I guess they didn't. It shows everything else. And shows a bunch of stuff in the Steven Spielberg shot. And they show something they done when they were filming with the shark. And I think this is cool. Showing like all the shark designs and how they were going to do everything. I think it's really cool to see. Especially for hardcore Jaws fans. And it also shows like the drawings that they were planning to do in specific scenes of the movie. It just looks so cool. It's definitely great for hardcore. I think this is only a Best Buy that my brother told me. And the last one here, this is just so cool. And it's very you can respect them for having to do the shark stuff in 1975. It was probably very hard to do because I was watching the making of it, and like you always heard Richard Dreyfuss saying, "Well, we always heard the shark is not working. The shark is not working. Repeat, the shark is not working." It was just, and this is probably probably close to my favorite. How it has Quint's monologue from the actual script. It's just so cool. I've already read this before. I've read the whole thing, and it was just so cool to read because I love scripts. And here it shows a bunch of posters for the movie. Now this one I actually never saw, but it looks pretty cool. And it just shows a little bit more in different languages, and it shows a bunch of other really cool badass things for Jaws, and this is probably a really cool one called The Jaws Legacy. That's the last page. This is actually shown at Universal Studios. It's on a little tour, which I was on. I've done it a couple times. It's so much fun and looks so cool. And here it's got the traditional beginning scene and has the DVD right here. Now, Jaws is just my favorite shark movie, probably everyone's favorite shark movie, and it's just such a great movie. Steven Spielberg, of course, did a great job as director, and this is definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. You should definitely get this Blu-ray. It's worth it. So that is my Blu-ray update, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Now, I'm Lucas Stringer. I'll see you guys later.